Yeah, in terms of these running back injuries, I think this could turn out to be a blessing in disguise as long as there are no more running back injuries, because number one, gets my guy Dallin Hayden possibly into the mix more. I just have been flummoxed ever since that Maryland game and then going into the Michigan game about why he's absent from all of this. And I get the pecking order, and I don't know. I hope it's not any type of narrative that they want to send a message to recruits that they're going to stay in order and you're not going to get leaped, you're not going to get jumped or anything like that. And then number two, even before all that took place, you could just tell with Xavier Johnson. Of course, Ibuka wasn't there, but he's typically the wide receiver running threat, that this has forced them to get creative in the running game beyond just the personnel switches. They were already thinking, okay, we need a running game from somewhere. Devin Brown, Ibuka, as we typically get it from him, Xavier Johnson. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get creative.
Yeah, I like it. And they did that against Michigan and Georgia, where you got to get it from somewhere. And I like the inclusion of Xavier Johnson in the running game, getting back to the Urban Meyer H-back situation where the slot guy can carry the ball. And Xavier Johnson can do it the way Urban Meyer liked it, which was between the tackles and do it out of the backfield. Mecca is mainly just, a jet sweep guy, but the usage, the ability to put him wherever is great. If they could have somebody more dynamic, that would be even better than Xavier, but he's very good at what they ask him to do. But he's a sixth-year guy. Had the ball hit him in the face on one of the throws downfield from Kyle McCord. So, you're still missing something when he's out there, but you're also getting something when he's out there, and you're getting the versatility. And he was productive with the football. And I'm with you. You're looking for different options. You're looking for different things to do with the running game, how to get yards. And when everybody is healthy, it would just be there's running the ball and there's throwing quick screens outside. And the quick screens outside aren't always all that effective, but they count that as part of the running game. And if that's all you're relying on, clearly it's not been enough this season. So getting Xavier more involved, getting whomever more involved, getting more creative, finding runs that work. Now Penn State has seen everything they've done so far. So will there be something more for Penn State? I think is going to be something else to watch. But the more creative, the better, in my opinion.
Yeah, Xavier Johnson, 5 carries for 39 yards is pretty good, 8 yards a clip, and 1 catch for 21 yards. You're right. He had a pass that should have been completed that he dropped. There were several drops on the day. It looked bad again at the beginning. The first 2 passes were incomplete, just the same as the Maryland game when they, had to punt it away pretty quickly and then botched the punt snap, and they're down 7-0, in the blink of an eye. This week, he then completed a pass to Marvin Harrison for 15 yards, kind of on an out route for a first down, and then McCord was off and rolling. I thought after that, through basically his 3 quarters of work, he was fabulous on the whole, given everything that was going on, with different personnel and the rain and the wind. I mean, you were there, you would know better than I. They said on television that it was kind of a blustery day. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I like the diversity. It was the best called game of the season, in my opinion, for Ohio State offensively. I mean, they did put up 56 points or whatever it was against Western Kentucky, but they offered very little resistance. So Purdue at least, has had a few games where they've played some pretty good defense leading into this. So to me, I felt this was the showing that you had to have to get ready to go play Penn State. And that to me, was a big step forward.
Yeah, and the defensive line took advantage of a bad offensive line and some injuries on the offensive line. First time Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau have had a sack in the same game since last year. They've done it now 3 times in their respective careers, 2 of 2022 against Maryland and 2021 against Maryland. And now I think this may have been the first game where they both had multiple sacks in the game. So getting hot at the right time, but against, like I said, a really pedestrian offensive line when it comes to protecting the quarterback. And Hudson Card, he hears voices anyway in the pocket, and with that offensive line, you're going to. And I thought they did a good job. They did everything they needed to, and really having Devin Mockabee rush for over 100 yards. That was a very quiet, like 114 yards or whatever. You know, he had a couple of, you know, like a 21-yard run and some. I think as Ohio State is preparing for the pass because Purdue's down, they're getting some easy runs from Mockabee, but nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
A lot of it came after the game was decided. They didn't score it. It was 34-0, although they were in position to score several times and had 3 field goals. That poor guy, Macias, the kicker, I mean, what a terrible bad luck day he had. I mean, they had the ball at the 1-yard line, get pushed back with penalties, and he doinks a field goal off the upright. I mean, that just, you know, it was that kind of day for Purdue. Poor Ryan Walters, you know, he got his first real taste of what Big Ten, what life in the big city is all about.
Yeah, Steve, you would have enjoyed it because, as Mark said, twice during that game they had students come in and kick field goals. One of them was like for leasing a car, and you had to make like a 30-yarder and a 40-yarder, and the dude did, and banged the 40-yarder in off the crossbar, and they're just pulling kids out of the stands to kick, and they're making them. And yet your own field goal kicker could. And the one that he blasted off of the upright, that goalpost was still shaking like 5 minutes later because it was so hard.